जन्मानेकशतैः सदा नरयुजा भक्त्या समाराधितो भक्तैर्वैदिकलक्षणेन विधिना सन्तुष्टैष स्वयम् साक्षात् श्रीगुरुरूपमेत्य कृपया दृग्गोचरः सन् प्रभुः तत्त्वं साधु विबोध्य तारयति तान् संसारदुःखार्णवात् तत्त्वं साधु विबोध्य तारयति तान् संसारदुःखार्णवात् पूर्णानन्दरसानुभूतिसहित स्मेरप्रसन्नाननम् पूर्णेन्दुप्रभमात्मबोधनिलयम् शान्तं निरीहं परम् नित्यानित्यविचारसारचतुरम् निर्मत्सरं पावनम् श्रीभूमानन्दमहं नतोऽस्मि कलितानन्दं परं श्रेयसे श्रीभूमानन्दमहं नतोऽस्मि कलितानन्दं परं श्रेयसे गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरम् तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः चैतन्यशाश्वतशान्तो व्योमातीतो निरञ्जनः बिन्दुनादकलातीतः तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं येन कृत्स्नं चराचरम् तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः अनेकजन्मसम्प्राप्त कर्मेन्धनविदाहिने आत्मज्ञान गुरोरधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरोरधिकं तपः तत्त्वज्ञानात् परं नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। मन्नाथ श्री जगन्नाथो मद्गुरु श्री जगद्गुरुः मदात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ध्यानमूलं गुरोर्मूर्तिः पूजामूलं गुरोः पदम् मन्त्रमूलं गुरोर्वाक्यं मोक्षमूलं गुरोः कृपा। गुरुरादिरनादिश्च गुरुः परमदैवतम् गुरोः परतरं नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलम् सर्वधी साक्षिभूतम् भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितम् सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। नित्यं शुद्धं निराभासं निराकारं निरञ्जनं नित्यबोधं चिदानन्दं गुरुं ब्रह्म नमाम्यहम्। शरीरं स्वरूपं तथा वा कलत्रं यशश्चारुचित्रं धनं मेरुतुल्यं मनश्चेन्नलग्नं गुरोरङ्घ्रिपद्मे ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किम्।
Jai Guru. Pranams at the holy lotus feet of Pujya Swami Bhomananda Tirtha Ji. Pranams to Swami Nirvisheshananda Tirtha Ji, and pranams to our beloved Mahaguru Priya Ji. We're happy to have all of you joining us in the 25th Global Satsang with Pujya Swami Ji. In last week's satsang, Pujya Swami Ji had commenced the discussion on the 55th shloka of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's response to Arjuna's question about Sthita Prajna. And Swamiji had asked us whether we were ready to accompany him to discover the horizon of being an Atma Tushta. All of us were Loka Tushtas in Swamiji's words. And reflecting on Swamiji's words, I was wondering if any of us is able to realize the great fortune we have. We all say Swamiji is a knower, Swamiji is a master, but do we really realize what it means to have Swamiji explain to us from his experiential depth what is the meaning of these states of the mind, and what is the state of a person who attains and then continues to live. Swamiji has always declared that he was interested in only in knowing how does a knower live, how does he move, how does he behave. And our great good fortune is that we have Pujya Swamiji to explain it to us as he takes us deeper and deeper into the Bhagavad Gita. Swamiji.
Harihi, Harihi Om Tats, Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru. Madhya Hridaya Kashe Sadanandamayo Guruhu Udetu Satatam Samyak Swahatmananda Prabodhaka. Hari, Hari, Hari Om Tats, Jaya Guru. Now we shall have our chorus recitation 3 times of the auspicious monosyllable Omkara. Interlock your fingers, put them on your lap, sit comfortably erect, open your mouth and also the heart and join me. But make sure that your mind is set in such a manner that the joint, the chorus recitation will become a huge force and it will permeate the whole globe, showering its benedictions on all the creatures upon the earth. It is a great austerity, a collective austerity for all of you to join in this recitation. Understand the blessedness, the depth and the impact of this great holy occasion. Let us proceed. Hari Hari Om Tas. We shall have that regular shloka which we recite together. The way in which the illustrious Arjuna made his surrender and expressed himself specifically, asking Krishna to be his teacher, declaring himself to be the disciple and the seeker. It was a great occasion for Arjuna to have done so. It was equally a great occasion for Krishna to find his beloved friend in whom he was specially interested, to have this kind of an appeal expressed before him. Karpanyadosho
Karpanyadosho
Swabhavaha. You must have learned this by now. Not the newcomers, but all the other people. So I will recite the full line because it is a single word. Karpanyadosho bhata swabhavaha.
Karpanyadosho bhata swabhavaha.
Pritchami tvam dharma sammudha cheta.
Dharma sammudha cheta.
Yachreyasyad Nishchitam bruhi tanme.
Nishchitam bruhi tanme.
Shishyasteham Shadhimam Tvam prapannam. Shishyasteham Shadhimam Tvam prapannam. We are discussing Arjuna's enquiry about Sthitaprajna and Sthitadhi. As I mentioned, that these two words appear for the first time before us, and both the phrases are coined by Arjuna. How receptive he must have been while listening to Krishna's instructions, and what should have been the depth and the sublimity of whatever he heard. This gives you an idea as to the nature of Arjuna assimilating the message given each time by Krishna. He was growing, not his body, but the mind, intelligence, personality was growing. That growth is in the form of a reformation, a refinement, a sublimation, an expansion, an elevation, and also enlightenment. The growth of the mind is not a physical growth, nor is the expansion. The mind imbibes greater and greater qualities and refinement. The intelligence receives more and more knowledge, wisdom. All the knots of the intelligence caused by ignorance, delusion and the like, all of them start getting dissolved, and the intelligence becomes clearer and clearer, more and more perceptive. What Arjuna could not understand in the beginning, he understood very clearly at the end of the dialogue. The transformation was not physical, of course. The transformation was in the mento-intellectual plane of his inner personality. Arjuna inquired about the samadhistha sthita prajna. The sthita prajna who is immersed in his samadhi. Naturally he is absorbed. He would not talk. He will not have any external expression or interaction. So it's a still and absorbed state. But nobody is going to continue ever, once and for all. That's not the case. You practice samadhi, and in the samadhi you remain absorbed, maybe for half an hour or 1 hour for householders. Thereafter you wake up. whatever experience or sublimation you had, you remember it, take your lessons from it. It has its own mystic spiritual effect and influence on the inner personality. You can also add to it by your own deliberation, absorption, reflection, etc. So it starts enriching the mind and the intelligence. The enriched mind and intelligence conduct interactions. So the interactions become more reformed and more refined. And that refinement takes away the tension and stress. So further absorption will be easier, very comfortable. So just like a full lake having enough of lotuses, when the lotus blossoms, you will find it beautifies the lake and the lake beautifies the lotus. Shashinacha Nisha, no, I'm sorry. Similarly, if it is pitch dark, then the moonlight will be very beautiful, that shine. Shashinacha Nisha, Nishayacha Shashi, Payasa Kamalam Kamalena Payaha. These examples are used. So the Samadhi state becomes a great enrichment for the wakeful interactions, and the sublimated and enriched interactions of the waking state become a very good fillip for the next Samadhi period that he is going to have. So a person becomes a Sthitadhi. That Sthitadhi, how will he talk, how will he rest, and how will he be interacting in the world? These were the questions 1, 2, 3 and 4. And Krishna answers the first question. What is that? Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava. The Sthita prajna will not be able to give an explanation himself because he is remaining absorbed. Looking at him and knowing him, whatever he has had, another person who is competent for the purpose will be able to explain what is the state in which the Sthita prajna remains absorbed. Whereas when he wakes up, he can talk himself. This is the difference between the two. So what is the description of the Sthita prajna immersed in Samadhi was the first question. So Krishna answers it, Prajaghati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogadan atmanyeva atmana tushta Sthita prajna stadochyate. That time, then one is said to be a Sthita prajna. When he is able to abandon all the desires, secular desires as well as spiritual desires, he must be able to leave them, abandon them. Then, such abandonment takes place every day during our sleep. The entire wakeful state is obliterated by our system, by our mind. And we remain absorbed in sleep. So there is no question of any desire working in sleep at all. So is it something like that? No. Partly it may be like that. Atmani eva atmana tushtaha. When you get into Samadhi, you are conscious. Absolutely conscious. Very watchful. In sleep, your body falls. Everything is forgotten. You are unconscious of your body, mind, intelligence, world, everything. But here, no such forgetfulness is there. You are concurrently aware of. All the thought processes get dissolved. There is no modification of consciousness within you. At the same time, there is no special sensory awareness. So it remains. But you know that the thought process have dissolved. And there is nothing like a movement or a modification inside. So the body will be erect. It will be like this. You don't droop. It will be like this. As you are aware of in the wakeful state, here also you will be aware of. Because the eyes are closed and you are not interested in having any outer perception, so there is no question of an interaction or any feeling for interaction. If at all there will be a movement within the body in the way of the mind. What is that movement? A contemplation. A contemplation is always on a concept. So either the mantra given to you by the Guru in the form of a Diksha, or something similar to that if you take an optional thought, that thought will be repeated. When it becomes steady for something like less than 5 minutes, you will find the mind cannot function in a state of non-dwellness. If the mind has to be, it has to be only in a dwell plane. So, in place of dwellness or duality, you will find the mind becomes non-dwell. So the mind has no job to do there. There is no object to be perceived or contemplated upon. So the entire chanting, it will dissolve. When all the other functions are suspended or removed, and only one manovritti is there continuously in an unbroken manner, and that also is dissolved, it ceases to be, then the whole mind process comes to a stop. That is the way you reach at Sthita Prajnata. At that time, you will not feel like having anything at all. The contentment, the fullness, the sense of abundance is so much that Atmani eva Atmana tushtaha. You become contented in yourself, by yourself. There is no second factor like the world or a worldly entity. You don't need an object. You don't need a thought. You don't need an imagination. You don't need any inquiry. Everything comes to a standstill, and it's a state of full absorption into your own inmost essence. That Atma Tushti is very important. Contentment is something very simple, very easy to understand. You are contented, that's all. A man of contentment will never have any kind of a feeling of absence for him. That contentment generated by the self, in the self and by yourself, that marks Sthita Prajnata. Now this is the beginning of the so-called spiritual effort. The real effort starts from here. Until then you are only reading, discussing, hearing, speculating. Perhaps you are also registering that you are a seeker. Sit in a place, preferably cross-legged. I would not like you to sit on your bed. That is meant for sleeping. So it will have a sleep-producing effect. So you should sit on the floor. You can have an asana which is 1 or 2 inches high maximum if you want. Otherwise spread. Put something like a hard sheet, and over that take a bed sheet, fold it about 4 or 8 times and sit comfortably there. That's all, nothing else. The traditional seat will be a plank only to support your bottom, the buttock. The legs will be on the floor. That is the right pose. You can sit for hours with that plank. We have got a traditional name for that plank. It's very important. It will have a handle and also a plank. You can take it with the left hand, remove it, insert it underneath. That will be the best pose. And then interlock your fingers, as I generally say every day. Close your eyes. Sit comfortably erect. I don't want you to sit like this. There are some people who will say, look in between the eyebrows. How can it be? The eyes are not supposed to be open. Some people will say, look here. No. The best will be close your eyes. Even to keep the eyelids open, there is an exertion necessary. Even that should be avoided. Except breath and heartbeat, nothing should be there in the way of an exertion for you. And so far as breathing and heartbeat are concerned, they are involuntary actions. So you don't have to exert additionally yourself. So the process will go on. So the whole mind is available for you, and with your whole mind you handle the mind's vrittis, functions. This is how you proceed for it. The entire spiritual life, spiritual pursuit and spiritual attainment, the key of it is this Sthita Prajnata. The key of it. This absorption into yourself. It is exactly like sleep. Don't ask me whether such absorption is possible. Every day you are having it. But it is biologically induced. It is not psycho-intellectually induced. It is not an optional affair. You are not opting for your sleep. You feel you are already tired and the system is ready for sleep. So you stop the day's activity and then say, let me sleep. So sleep is a condition which nature has gifted you with. Understand it. This is not sleep. If at all I can describe it, it is optional and self-generated inner sleep. The body doesn't sleep there. The body has to be active. That is why you sit. And the sitting pose has to be retained. Then you meditate. From this, everything grows. Even Sthitadhitva grows from here. This is the key. This is the key. It opens the mystery of the inner presence. There is a supra-material, super-energial presence in your system which animates and activates your body. Animates and activates your body. Animates and activates your body. The body is inert. It consists of only matter, and matter is jada, insentient. So the whole bodily personality is inert. Then how is it that it is alive? It is enlivened and animated by an inner spiritual presence. An inner spiritual presence. This meditation is done by that, for that, in it, of it. Everything is that. What is the mind? It is a functional note of consciousness. What is intelligence? Another refined note of the same consciousness. What is ego? That also is a knot-like product of the consciousness. Consciousness is the root substance. We call it prajna. We call it chetana. We call it chit. Chit, that is the right description. C-H-I-T, chit. From the chit, we have derived chitta. Chit is pure consciousness. When it starts reflecting plural objects, it becomes chitta. The chitta is the thickened form, so to say, of the chit. So when you sit in meditation, you are out to handle this chit, this consciousness, which now functions in a plural manner, creating plurality. We want to take away all the plural nodes of the consciousness and leave it with a singular node. Thereafter, even drop the singular node and make it rest on itself. Atmani eva atmana tushtaha. Now I am going to discuss the subject in a greater detail. Most of you would not have heard what I am going to say. By so saying, I am not saying I am going to tell you something very great and all that. That's not the idea. Most of you would not have heard it. Our spiritual wisdom is a science. It is a science. It is explained as a science. Very rationally, systematically. Presenting the cause and effect sequence at every point of time. All that I have spoken to you, it stands to reason. It's very scientific. I say it is like sleep, but not sleep. I can call it conscious sleep or sleepy consciousness. All these are beautiful phrases and words, very scientific, to explain the object which I have in mind. In order to understand this and make use of it, you require two factors. You must have a placid and a comfortable, favorable mind. You must also have intelligence. Many times I have said, spiritual pursuit is actually a mental, intellectual effort. The mind and intelligence alone are working in spirituality. No third factor is there. Body is of course there as a seat for the mind and the intelligence, as for the senses. Sage Vasishtha, while instructing the 16-year-old prince of Ayodhya, Sri Rama, he has spoken very beautifully and exhaustively. I discussed one section of Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana, Upashama Prakarana, in Quietude of the Mind. I wrote many years back. There is a story about this quietude of the mind. I went to Malaysia and I was speaking there. I must have quoted from Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana. One of the listeners, a veterinary doctor, after hearing me, he said, I would like you to write on this. Oh, you want me to write? I shall try. And he came here and gave me the cost of printing the book. So it became a commitment for me. So I started writing. The caption of the book is Quietude of the Mind, not Quietude. While writing English, very rarely I have to coin some words. Now whenever I use a new word, I don't know how many people frown at it. None of you has a right to frown at it. All words are born and made by writers. I have been speaking and writing English for the past more than 68 or something like that, 68 years. So having been in the way of writing and speaking, when I want to express an idea and I have to coin a word, I have every right and freedom by the very writing mission. I don't need to be sanctioned. I don't need a sanction from anybody. All words are formed by the writers. Ideas come and they think, and they are very chaste when they handle the language. Some years back, one Mr. Raman, who was working in the USIS in Bombay, he had retired, he came here. He went through my book, some other book, and he said, Swamiji, what more can be written? It is so very beautifully explained. I don't find anything to be changed or added to there. This is only a background. And then when he was writing, I found that in his writing, in many places he has omitted the "the," T-H-E. So I asked him, why are you not using the definite article? People say definite article cannot be dropped. Then he said, Swamiji, I find that so many these are there while we write. So I generally avoid. What is the principle that you adopt? He said, wherever it is necessary and indispensable, you use it. Repeat a usage of the "the." Keep it where it will be the best. That discretion is employed and then it is written. Nowadays, cost of printing is very high and place also. If you take a book of 250 pages, I think we can eliminate at least 5 or 6 these in a page. So how much it is? And for writing 1,000 or 2,000 these, how much of ink is required and paper is required? And the reader also has to spend his valuable time. So from then on, I started omitting "the" wherever possible. The discretion I take. The one statement that the people of India have to make, the one statement the people of India have to make, the one statement, the people of India. What is the harm if you say people of India? One statement, the people of India, there it looks beautiful. So you decide which "the" is to be omitted. So in the next book we are going to publish, I am going to say, my dear readers, you will find that "the" is omitted in a number of places. We say "a" when "a" is understood. An important point. Suppose you say important point, that is singular. Why should "a" be there? The language will say it is characteristic of English. Has not the English changed? I find that point 2 is the original expression. And now people have started writing points. 2 is not necessary. You look into the dictionary. Similarly, On the second day, on 25th October, now in America when I was there, they only say 22nd October. They never say on. I went there that day. I went there that day. Should I say I went there on that day? So these are some of the refinements that language picks up. But it should not be destructive or retrogressive. So this is one important point that you have to understand. Why did I say all this? I felt that quietude of the mind. It is not the simple quietude, but something deeper than that. In order to drive home the point, it is a very cultured, refined, sublimated, exalted, deep, wholesome, superlative quietude. That is quietude. So, quietude of the mind, I wrote. Some time back, the people in the ashram suggested that I should also comment upon the Nirvana Prakarana of Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana. That is Upashama Prakarana. I thought that was the best that all people need and like. So, Nirvana Prakarana, the redemption, that redemption is the subject there. So, I am continuously writing. Why I mentioned it, this is only by the way. Sage Vasishtha has spoken to Sri Rama, and the conversation is recorded by Sage Valmiki in 32,000 Sanskrit verses. Can you imagine? How many words would it have contained? Would it be containing? Valmiki wrote generally the biographical Ramayana. That contains 24,000 Sanskrit verses. Whereas Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana contains 32,000. And all are spiritual, philosophical, yogic. Spiritual, philosophical, yogic. All are that. So he has discussed it beautifully. And he has discussed it as a subject to be discussed by the intelligence through articulation, to be heard through the ears, absorbed by the intelligence, and by a process of this auditory and listening interaction, Sri Rama got absorbed into Sthita Prajnata. Vasishtha had to stop narration till Rama woke up and came back to his consciousness. That was the effect of the dialogue. That was the effect of the dialogue. That is why he took up Upashama Prakarana for the first time. So there he says, Sundarya nijaya buddhya prajnayaiva vayasyaya padamasadhyate rama nanama kriyayanyaya. When I see these verses, I jump and sing, dance and dance. What is it? He says, Padam asadhyate Rama. My dear Rama, listen to me. You are looking for a great abode where the world will not torment you. The sights of the world, the news about the world, the behavior of the people, the interactions, multifarious interactions take place. You have seen all around, all over the whole of India. And you are crying and weeping, unable to contain your mind. You are tormented. You are not able to explain anything. Ultimately, the world does not suffer. The seeing you suffer. The suffering is for you. The world does not suffer. It continues to be multiple, multi-pronged. Yet it has never complained at all. It may be involving human slaughter. Even then what? Nobody is crying and weeping. The world continues to be itself. Its course is never arrested. We are the sufferers. We are the sufferers. Now this suffering has to be redressed by ourselves, our own effort. Maybe the mind senses the problem. The intelligence has to resolve that problem. Where is the mind and where is the intelligence? Are they wide apart? Are they distanced? It is all one function. It is just like the leg walking and the hand holding. Both of them are operated upon by the same personality I. In the sphere of the mind, it is far closer. Now at least a certain distance is there between hands and feet. Inside the body, it is not so. It is not so. So if the mind senses a problem, apprehends a problem, put it to the intelligence, and the intelligence will find a solution, deliver it for you. Rama sensed the problem. He was unable to find a solution. He finally told Vasishtha Deva, many people have lived in this world. They must have encountered a similar problem, greater or smaller. Did they find a solution? Did anybody help them to find a solution? Do you know anything about it? Will you tell me? Will I be able to receive, absorb and apply it with success? If answer to any of these questions is a no, this Rama is not going to take food. He will not do his ablutions. He will remain like a Rama picture painted on the wall. Nothing but death he will aspire for. This was the resignation and resolve Rama expressed at the end of his confessional talk. Are you with me, my dear viewers? This is India. This is India. The newspaper India is only a bit and a piece of it. The real India is inside the body of people, unseen, invisible to the people, even to thinkers. This understanding, if you go to the Himalayan area, you will find there are sadhus who are not very literate, so to say. They will always have a book of Yoga Vasishtha with them in their guha. I have seen. Yoga Vasishtha, a book a sadhu is keeping in his cave as the only companion of his. Yes, that is the only book to be read and understood. To be read and understood. Nothing else. There is nothing that is not contained in Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana, referring to the human personality, referring to the world in which we live, referring to creation, creator, and all about the interaction between oneself and the rest of the world. So he says, Sundarya nijaya buddhya pratyayai vavayasyaya padamasadhyate rama nanama kriyayanyaya. You have got into trouble, Rama, and you have narrated your suffering. This is so far as you are concerned. Now, in order to get elevated from it, your own intelligence will have to work. My role is to activate your intelligence using my own intelligence. And when I activate, you also respond properly, you will find the whole problem disappears like mist before sunrise. Two factors are necessary. Sundarya nijaya buddhya. One's own beautiful intelligence. I wonder, my viewers, can you understand? Can you appreciate? Vasishtha describing the intelligence as beautiful. Has any one of you thought of your intelligence as beautiful? You may say, his intelligence is sharp. Sharp. It should penetrate. It should be beautiful. You go to a garden. There are so many flowers. Out of them, one or two are exquisitely beautiful. You look at them and say, very beautiful. Tell me, who gives you the sense of beauty? Does the flower give you? Do the eyes give you? Or is it the intelligence that compares and contrasts all the flowers, distinguishes one or two, and then say, what a beautiful flower is it? That sense of beauty, where from does it pulsate and come to you? Does it proceed from the flower? What does the eyes do? What do the eyes do? The eyes are only transmitting electrical pulses. generated by the light rays. These pulses are just like any other instrument passed to the brain center. And the brain center is interpreting the sight. That is from where you get the idea of beauty. So tell me, is the flower beautiful, or your intelligence which is able to look at the flower, compare notes, finally say, this is beautiful. So which is beautiful here? So he says, Sundarya Nijaya Buddhya. One's own intelligence which is beautiful. It is that intelligence which does discrimination and says, the whole world is transitory, transient, evanescent, fleeting. It is a verdict of the intelligence. Then where is the non-fleeting? Its own substratum is there. And that is the I which you refer to. So looking at the world, calling it transitory, and arriving at its substratum in the form of the I, this is a task of the intelligence and effort and mission of the intelligence. Sundarya Nijaya Buddhya Pratyayaiva Vayasyaya. It is not enough if you have a sharp, penetrating and beautiful intelligence. You must also have the sense of discrimination. Even the worst criminals are defended by our advocates. And they will say, it is the call of law, advocacy. There are instances where criminals, the lawyers argued their case so well that they were let free. I know of an instance where the criminal was let free and he made a huge building for his advocates. And this advocate became miserable at the end of his life. So it is not enough if you have a sharp and penetrating intelligence. You must have to guard the intelligence, a sakha, pratyayaiva vayasyaya, which will always look for good as different from bad and make you think of the good, not take the path of bad. So that prajna, that friend also is necessary. With the help of a beautiful intelligence and a discriminating prajna, padam asadhyade rama. The supreme spiritual abode is gained by virtue of this. Na nama kriyaya anyaya. Na nama kriyaya anyaya. Not by the chanting of names, nor by the performance of religious and ritualistic exercises. What do you understand from this? Sundarya Nijaya Buddhya Pratyayaiva Vayasyaya Padamasadhyate Rama Nanama Kriyayanyaya. Vasishtha says, the first effort of the human should be to enhance his prajna. Purvam prajna vivardhaye. It is not external efforts to amass external things. On the other hand, it is to have an enriching, elevating and an enlightening intelligence and mind. We should first try for it, he says. I am not quoting that verse, it will take time. Padam asadhyate rama nanama kriyaya anyaya. I thought I will take this occasion to discuss for all of you from Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana the description about the Sapta Bhumiga. There are 7 levels or stages in your spiritual approach and spiritual ascent. It is beautifully described. It is not a secret, but it is highly sacred. It's not a secret, but it's very sacred. So you must have the purity, the sublimity, the zeal, the fervor to know about it. Have no knowledge, intellectual knowledge, but even then you can have these qualities. How many sadhus are there who are not educated in our country and they make ample progress, only because they have earnestness. They will assiduously try. The intellectuals will not, Because they will deliberate, argue and argue. Finally, their own weaknesses they will cover up and then say this is not good. It is in 7 stages. The stages are called Shubhecha, Vicharana, Tanumanasa. Shubhecha, Vicharana, Tanumanasa. These 3 are the first. In the 4th level, a man becomes a knower of truth. He is called Brahmavid. The 5th one, he becomes Brahmavidvara. Brahmavid Shreshtaha. In the 6th, he becomes Brahmavidvariyan. And the 7th, he becomes Brahmavidvarishtaha. The first 3 do not give you the full knowledge. You become a knower of truth. A knower of truth means what? You are a knower of your body. Though you don't know anything about the body, you have to go to a doctor. But at least you know I have a body. Similarly, you cannot say, I have a self. So the self you don't know. What is this self? The self is the presence which animates and activates your body. Are you not living? Yes. Do you have a dead body or a living body? A living body. Your body, it is living. So your body, when I look at, I get the notion that it is living. That livingness in your body is the soul, is the self. So having a living body, how can you miss the life element in it? But we are missing. So in the 4th stage, you clearly know, no, I am not the body. I only have my body. Just like I have my flat or house. Just like I have my dress. Just like I have my car. Just like I have my checkbook. I only have the body. See, the body loses all its importance. It is just like a shirt, a piece of cloth. It is just like a room or the roof of your flat. Then what are you? You are obliged to think, I am something that enlivens the body, animates the body, keep it active and vibrant. There is a presence. Yes. Certainly, this feeling will motivate you every time, every moment thereafter, if you are sincere. I am not the body. I only have the body. Then what am I? I am different from the body. That difference is what I indicate by the term I. What is that I? I refer to the I as if I know it. So the I is within my reach. That is why I say I. So the inquiry starts. Altogether there are 7 bhumikas discussed in Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana. I will explain it. Jnana bhumi shubhechakhya prathama samudahrita vicharana dvidiyatu tridiya tanumanasa sattvapattishchaturthi syat tado asamsaktinamiga saktinamiga padartha bhavini shashti saptami turyaga smrda आसामन्दे स्थिता मुक्तिः तस्यां भूयो न शोच्यते एतासां भूमिकानां त्वम् इदं निर्वचनं शृणु. This is from Utpatti Prakarana of Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana. Vasishtha enlightening Rama about the 7 stages of spiritual ascent, fulfillment, fruition and ecstasy. In all these bhumikas, if a person is able to travel, get up one after the other, etasam bhuyo na shochyade, he will never have grief at all. Grief at all. At all. No grief. About which? About what? When you are miserable, I am miserable, you say. Is the miserableness dissociated from you, separated from you, or you are miserable? So in that miserableness, the first factor present is you. I am miserable. The I-ness and the am-ness are first there. Then you describe it as miserable. Similarly, you said, I am comfortable. So in the comfortableness as I am were there, in the miserableness also the same I am are there. So when are you missing your I and am? Nowhere. Is grief an exception? No. I am aggrieved. I experience grief. I also experienced happiness. Happiness and grief are two objects for me. They are witnessed by me. They are only the witness and I am the witness. In joy, was I different from being a witness? No. In grief, am I any different? No. I don't know whether you are following me. Huh? And when you had grief, you only witnessed it. When you were happy, then also you only witnessed it. You were a witness to your happiness. You are a witness to your grief. So let the grief be there, happiness also be there, and you remain their witness. In grief, does the witness I change its nature, change his nature? No. In happiness, was it any different? So I am free to undergo multiple experiences. Multiple experiences. Give me more than grief, more than happiness, more than this, more than that. I will be a witness, witness alone of all the witnessed. The witnessed will never become the witness, and the witness is not going to be the witnessed. So in all your experiences, plights and fates, tell me what you were. You were the I. Did it ever change? No. When you were happy, what was it? It was the witness. When you are unhappy, what is it? It is the same witness. Can you not sing and dance with joy, saying, I am the witness and witness alone, witness alone. My dear witness, come one after the other in a row. I shall still be your witness, 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 witness. Your effort is for nothing. I am not going to change my identity or nature. Can you not sing and dance? Otherwise, what for is your human intelligence? Tasyam bhuyo na shochyade asamande sthita mukti. A person who is able to float, pass through all these 7 stages, for him is mukti. So I have explained what are the bhumikas. Again I will say, the first is shubhecha, shubhecha. The second is vicharana. The third is tanumanasa. What is meant by shubhecha? I think all of you are already in this bhumika. 1/7 is already over. You are listening to my talks. The very background for listening is that I want to know something about goodness, righteousness, propriety. I want to know about the soul which is different from the body. I want to elevate my life. I want to have a meaningful human life, not a meaningless and a purposeless human life. This very discrimination makes you an aspirant of Shubha, the auspicious. So are you not wanting to be auspicious? So you have this bhumika. Prathama samudahrita vicharana dvidiyatu. Vicharana. The word vichara means truthful introspection. Every one of you is given to the intellectual exercise called introspection. Every one of you. But you generally introspect over your life, worldly matters, professional commitments, ideals, goals, target, etc. But introspection you always do. If you are not introspecting, no office will keep you at all. Your function cannot be done by a buffalo, a donkey, or a monkey. It can be done only by a person who has mind and intelligence. The function of the intelligence is to introspect, evaluate, compare notes, assess, arrive at a proper assessment. So every one of you is given to introspection. When the introspection becomes truthful, in the sense, about the truth, not about the untruth. The entire world is fictitious. It is untrue. It is unreal. Because it is constantly changing. Whatever is changing is not eternal. It is not true. The definition of truth is in the past, present and future, the truth should remain true, changeless. So such a thing is not there anywhere in the visible world. So it is all untrue and unreal. Naturally the truth, everybody is interested in. You are also. Your Swamiji is exposing only the supreme reality. And all of you are lovingly listening to it. That means you are given to vichara. At least your Swamiji inflicts vichara into you, infects you with vichara. So vicharana, the second bhumika also you are already in. So 2/7 you have already achieved. You only have to achieve the remaining 5/7. Tritiya tanumanasa. Tritiya tanumanasa. Your mind becomes thinner and thinner because of lesser and lesser desire, lesser and lesser anxiety and agitation. So the thinning of the mind, you really start experiencing. The other day, somebody wrote a letter to me and also she telephoned me. She writes well. She can speak well. She said, Swamiji, I have written to you. Did you read? No. Yesterday, after listening to your talk, I wrote your letter. I said, you write well, and how much is your evaluation? You can make your own evaluation. Swamiji, I have given 100 for me. I asked my husband, I am going to write 100. Is it right? Because he knows me well. Yes, you deserve 100, the way I understand you. Is it right? Yes. And he said, Swamiji, I have no fear at all. No fear at all. Why should I have fear? What shall I fear? Nothing to fear at all. I am fearless. I can declare it anywhere. So I have given 100 marks. I had a hearty laughter. Who prevents you from giving you 100? I am extremely peaceful. I am extremely happy. I have nothing to get. I have nothing to give. I am quite full. I am quite full. At least somebody is there to say this. You know how happy. I don't think her father, mother, husband or children would have been so happy as her Swamiji is. I think your parents cannot laugh even heartily because it requires a light and a peaceful mind. Then the next bhumika is Tritiya Tanumanasa Sattvapattish Chaturthi Syat. The fourth one is called Sattva Apattihi. It can be explained in different ways. One way I shall explain to you. I always say that your body is inert, insentient. Because it is insentient, it cannot live. So it is enlivened, animated and activated by an inner presence. When I say that, I am sure that all of you will be nodding your head. Our body consists of only inert matter. Pancha Bhutas, all of them have nothing in the way of sensing and feeling. But you have feeling, you are sensing. So where from do you get the power to sense? Not from the body. So there is an inner presence which animates and activates your body. When I say this, I am sure you accept it, understand it. You may not realize that presence, but you have understood it. That itself is a great gain. Being able to sense, comprehend and cognize that spiritual presence which animates your body. If this much you come and you realize that it is so, then that becomes the fourth bhumika. That is the one where one becomes an over. Padartha bhavini shashti. This is the This is Satvapatish Chaturthi Syat. Tado Asamsakti Namika. When you start understanding this inner presence, I don't know whether you follow me. And are you following me sweetly, deliciously? Asamsakti Namika. You have heard words like detachment, having no sangha. These are words, ideas. You start feeling, I am detached. My attachment is gone. I don't have anything to attach me to the world. I understand the world is material. My body is material. It is a material relationship that I have with the things of the world. Inside me, no object enters and touches. I am alone. The consciousness alone is. That consciousness is so subtle that it cannot get attached to anything. Can space be attached to fire, air, water and earth? No. Then the inner presence, the spiritual presence called the soul, also cannot be attached to anything. So you understand the meaning and you start feeling, yes, I am attached. No, I am detached. Yes. Then the next Bhumika Shashti is Padartha Bhavini. I don't think I will explain it now. Padartha Bhavini. You feel that there is a world full of concrete objects. You start feeling neither is the world nor its concreteness. Everything is perceived by the eyes, perceived by the senses, felt in the mind, imprinted in the mind. So the earth is imprinted by the mind in itself. All that I know, feel and experience is a mind imprint of the earth, mind imprint of the object. The mind imprint of any object is mental. It is not solid and grass. Can any one of you refute what I am saying? When a child is born, it is born and it lies on the earth as a solid body. Until then it was in the mother's womb. Now it has come out and it is an independent product like anything else. Does the child ever enter your heart anymore? Or you only have a feeling, I have a child. I have a child. That feeling is mental. Everything that the child does is transformed into a memory and imprint in the mind. So is there any padartha separate from your body anywhere? Or you only have all the padarthas as notions in your mind? Your husband is an ocean. Your wife is an ocean. Your parents are an ocean. Your child is an ocean. Your house is an ocean. Your belongings are an ocean. Other than as notions, nothing is there for you in this world. Nothing will ever be. You realize this truth. You live in this truth. You relish it. You relish it. You relish it. You find it relieving. It gives you exaltation. You find refinement, exaltation, elevation in that. That is called Padartha Bhavini Shashti. Saptami Turyaga Smrita. The seventh Bhumika is called Turyaga. We are going to explain it. Sthita kim mudha evasmi prekshyeham shastra sajjanaihi vairagya purvamichedi shubhechet yuchyade budhaihi. My dear souls, I want you to write to me as to how you feel when I expose this. I am exposing it with a lot of fondness for my viewers. I somehow want to dissolve my body into your hearts and minds so that you will understand this truth, at least a bit of it. That is the way I deliver my talks. Sthita kim mudha evasmi prekshyeham shastra sajjanaihi. What? I have been so far sitting, spending my time as a fool of the first order. I cannot afford to be like this. I am a human. I have a mouth to speak, ears to hear, eyes to see, a mind to think, and an intelligence to understand. Having all these faculties, can I afford to be ignorant and deluded? But our Shastras say people are deluded. All activities proceed from not knowledge, but a basic delusion caused by ignorance, nescience, maya. So I would like to know something about it. So let me take the Shastras. If I am not able to understand them myself, let me go to the wise people, the Sajjanas, the knowers of truth. I will go prostrate before them, take a seat before them, request them as Rama requested Rama requested Vasishtha, and Vasishtha was exposing. I will ask them. As Arjuna pleaded to Krishna to instruct him on the battlefield itself, keeping his bow and arrow down. Can you imagine? An illustrious fighter like Arjuna, keeping his bow and arrow down, unable to stand, sitting behind Krishna and asking him to instruct him on Shreyas, spiritual goodness and welfare. This is India. Until you seek like Arjuna, your life is not going to be human at all. Sthitah kim mudha evasmi prekshyeham shastra sajjanaihi. With the help of our great holy Shastras and also the enlightened people, prekshye aham. I will try to observe, I will try to verify, examine and evaluate. Vairagya purvamichedi. To do that, a measure of dispassion is necessary for you. To take some time from your secular activities and sit in a place, listen to the Mahatmas, listen to the words and exhortations of the Shastras. Shubhe chet yuchyate budhaihi. When one has this kind of a resolution and decision, as Arjuna expressed in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Sri Rama expressed in the palace of Ayodhya, Parikshit expressed before Shukamuni on the bank of Bhagirathi, King Janaka, the great King Janaka, expressed before sage Ashtavakra, who intruded into his palace session. Like that, you feel something is to be known. Let me know it. Let me go and sit under the feet of the Mahatmas and learn. When this kind of a feeling is there, what is that? A desire to gain Shubha, whatever is auspicious, whatever is holy, whatever is elevating. Shastra Sajjana Samparka Vairagyabhyasa Purvagam Sadachara Pravritriya Procyate Sa Vicharana. After listening to the Mahatmas, after listening to the Shastras, Shastra Sajjana Samparka Vairagya Abhyasa Purvagam. Just see the stages mentioned here. Shastra, the scriptures. Sajjana, the knowers of truth. Their Samparka, association. Vairagya Abhyasa, along with one's own dispassionate nature. With all these, Sadachara Pravritirya, you decide, whatever I have been till yesterday, or till the beginning or today, I am not going to be from today onwards. I want to live, act, speak and think as a good man, a well-meaning man. I will not do anything harmful. I will not like wickedness, cruelty, nothing in the way of harmfulness. It is my compulsion, persuasion, commitment, dedication and inner call. I want to know what is good, what is benevolent. That path I am going to follow. Sadachara Pravritirya. Then whatever you do will belong to Sadachara. That kind of a Sadachara Nishtha, when it becomes natural for you, That is called vicharana. The word vichara is introspection. You are guided by introspection. Not that your mouth speaks whatever it wants. It follows the mind. The mind is desultory, so it does not do whatever it wants anymore. It always listens to the advice of the intelligence. And adhering to the advice, it starts refining itself, reforming itself, and then it directs the speech. This kind of a state is called vicharana. I believe all of you already are in the first two bhumikas. Shubhecha and vicharana. Don't think that you are nobody. In the spiritual ladder, you have already ascended 2 steps. Already. My talk has been gaining this for you. Others also may be talking. So understand the very listening. The very listening is in the second bhumika. So out of the 7, you already have 2 seventh. Vicharana shubhechabhyam indriyartheshva saktata yatrasa tanuda bhavat prochyade tanumanasa. Vicharana shubhechabhyam indriyartheshva saktata. See how beautifully it is explained. By incorporating or gaining Shubhecha and Vicharana, the 2 stages, the 2 steps in the ladder, Indriyartheshva Sattada. The entire world is only for the senses to enjoy. What? What? The entire world is only for the senses to enjoy. Where are the senses? Extremely outside, in the body. Is the body important in me? Or mind, intelligence, etc. are more important? So the senses are only on the body. And the enjoyment of the objects, what for? Up to what? It is only up to the level of the senses in the body. Real enjoyment where? Where are you feeling joy, comfort, happiness? Where are the emotions surging up? Not in the body. Where is knowledge surging up? Not even in the mind, in the intelligence. So the inner personality is far superior to the material, physical aggregate called the body. In that level, the sensory objects serve no purpose. We want food and nourishment to preserve the body. So the objects go to the stomach. It is converted into blood by the alimentary canal. To that extent the objects enter the stomach, not enter the mind. So the inner personality is entirely different. So a measure of detachment arises in you. After all, these objects are only sensory. Sensory. They are not mental. They are not intelligential. They don't touch my heart and mind. So I should give them only such relative importance. The house is for the body to live, not for the mind to live. Certainly not. Yatrasa tanuta bhavat. So the extreme attachment that you have to the worldly things, that extreme attachment becomes thinner and thinner. It begins to thin down. That is called tanumanasa. So I have explained to you Shubhecha, Vicharana and Tanumanasa. When we enter the 4th, you will find you become a knower. But the approach to the 4 is through these 3. First of all, become a lover of goodness. Secondly, let all your introspection be towards becoming so. The third is, as a result of these 2, make sure that you do not end up with sensory objects and sensory indulgences. On the other hand, they should become thinner and thinner. then the third bhumika is attained. We will discuss the other. Today let me stop.
Jai Guru. Pujya Swamiji mentioned his book Quietude of the Mind, as well as the 3 volumes of Science of Inner Redemption. Most of you know, all of Swamiji's books are available from the ashram, and if you want to know more, please do write in to questions@globalgita.org. We have been sending shlokas by an e-shloka service 3 times a week. Many of you are subscribed to essential shlokas for memorization from Bhagavad Gita. As you know, Pujya Swamiji selects the essential shlokas that we must know from each chapter, and these are sent along with an audio file where the shloka is chanted by Nutun Swamiji or Ma, so that we can learn the correct pronunciation. Every Sunday, the e-shloka service for verses for introspection sent by Ma Guru Priya Ji is there. Shlokas selected by Ma to help us in our sadhana are there, along with a commentary given by Ma about the points we must introspect on. To subscribe to either service, please do write in to questions@globalgita.org, or if you wish to receive the shlokas or any program information as well by WhatsApp, please do send a message to 8547960362. The ashram WhatsApp number 8547960362. The next satsang from the ashram is there on Tuesday the 20th, Voice of Upanishads with Nutun Swamiji. That would be followed by Pujya Swamiji's Malayalam satsang on Wednesday 21st April. Thursday 22nd April would be Ma Guru Priya Ji's satsang towards eternal peace and happiness. And Pujya Swamiji's satsang with Bhagavad Gita would be there next week, next Saturday on 24th April. We look forward to seeing all of you. Jai Guru.
The shloka I recite at the end every day is from Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana. It is again a specific instruction given by sage Vasishtha to Sri Rama. You become peaceful. Nishchayam avapnuhi Rama Shantim. Attain Shanti. And Rama did attain, and it was demonstrated also by his absorption, stillness, and inability to listen to sage Vasishtha. Samvedya varjidamanuttamameghamadyam samvitpadam vigalanam kalayan mahatman hridye vatishtha kalanarahita kriyam tu kurvan agartrapadametya shamodidashri. Kurvan agartrapadametya shamodidashri. Remain in your own heart, having realized the truth of non-doership. Do everything and all, but realize the non-doership within your own heart, and live ornamenting the throne and ensuring the welfare of the people in the most impartial, impersonal, and absolute manner. This is what Vasishtha said to Sri Rama. Kurvan akartrapadametya shamodidashri. We shall have the conclusional Omkara. Be prepared for it. Hari, Hari, Hari Om Tats. Jai Guru, Jai Guru. The conclusional Omkara in chorus. Harihi Om Tats. Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru.